Hi, and welcome to another episode of Monday Motivation brought to you by Dominate Your Day. I started Monday Motivation as a place for many episodes sharing inspiring ideas and thoughts for leaders in the workplace. As a former corporate leader, I know what it feels like just to need a little boost of action each week. So, I am going to share a topic that can hopefully motivate you this week and this month. This particular month, we are talking about courage. And one of my favorite sayings is courage over confidence, because I think we all go through different times in the day or in our business lives of needing more confidence. But how do we think about courage? And so today, I want you to think about, how do you embrace courage and enhance your engagement? So we're stepping into March, and I want us to really begin by exploring courage. And mostly it's the lack thereof, as I mentioned earlier, and how it really impacts our engagement and our commitment to just take that extra step. We know that fear can always hold us back, but when we have courage, we can engage fully and authentically. So, one of the things I love quotes, and if you ever follow my strengths journal, you'll see that every day we have a quote in there as you're planning out your day. And one of my favorite quotes is from Ananias 9, and it's, "Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage." And I think that is so true. And I was thinking about different entrepreneurs, people that have gone out and taken a chance and been courageous. And one of the stories that really intrigued me was Kat Cole. You've probably heard of her. She's the president of Athletic Greens. She has a career trajectory that really is a fascinating story of resilience and courage. She started as a hostess at Hooters, which we all go, okay. But she quickly rose the ranks due to her drive and her adaptability. And by 26, she was a vice president at the company. So, despite not having a traditional educational background, she then kept rising up to the occasion and transitioned to become the president of Cinnabon, where she significantly expanded the brand. After that, she served as CEO, COO, and president of North America at Focus Brands, which is a huge uh, food company. And then she decided to step down from that. And currently, she is the president of Athletic Greens, which is a really cool health and wellness company. And I've used some of their products. They have I do a daily kind of drink with that drink from Athletic Greens, and it's really good. So when you think about Kat in courage and resiliency, think about how she's characterized by continual learning and adaptability. And she kind of shows that non-traditional paths can lead to remarkable success. Some of her key drivers for growth include being helpful, staying curious, and viewing risk as an opportunity to learn. So I think these principles have really shaped her approach based on reading her biography and what she's done, and helped contributed to her success. One of the things that she talks about recently is how she had a self-assessment strategy, and she called it the hot shot rule. And that's a way that she ensured continuous growth and improvement in her professional life. And the hot shot rule involves imagining a scenario where an incredibly talented new leader takes over your role. And then you ask yourself a series of questions. These are the questions that Kat asked herself. What would happen if a hotshot took over my job? What would he or she do differently? What's the one change that they would make immediately? And why can't I be the one to make those changes? So, by asking these three questions, Cole says that we can really surpass our own expectation and achieve more than we know. And I think sometimes we get stuck in that, just doing life comfortably, and then all of a sudden we're not fulfilled. It's because we're not growing. So it's important to have some exercise to keep pulling yourself out of your current environment and re-seeing your business and circumstances with fresh, first day on the job eyes as you're looking at your role. And I love how Cole explains that. So this week, some things that I want you to think about are identifying a situation where fear is holding you back from fully engaging. Just take a small step towards confronting this fear. It might be doing Kat Cole's hot shot questions. And remember that courage isn't about being fearless, it's about acting despite your fears. The last thing to think about this week is reflect on this experience at the end of the week. And how did it impact your engagement? I also recommend reading What Confident Women Do by Kate Richardson. And then the podcast that I think is appropriate for this week would be the Daily Motivation with Lewis Howe. He interviews Vanessa Van Edwards, and she shares the psychology hacks to help you become more confident. So we're going to have those in the show notes. And I want you to think about this week, what's one thing that you're going to take away from this money motivation that you're going to do. Hopefully you'll get to do it all. But if not, just think about one thing you can do differently this week based on this update. So before we wrap things up, here's a quick favor to ask of you. We know not everyone hit that follow button yet, but your support means the world to us. By becoming a follower, you help boost the podcast visibility and bring you even more amazing episodes in the future. So if you can do just one thing today, please give us a hit on that follow button. And it's the easiest way to get updated when we drop fresh content. But hey, if you're feeling extra generous, we would love for you to also share the podcast with a buddy. It's like spreading the love for a great conversation. Thanks a million for tuning in and being a part of our podcast community. We can't wait to have you back next week.